And hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my review for a movie that's getting a sequel tomorrow or tonight, depends on who's going to be watching it, Transformers. Now this is going to be a review for the first Transformers, so spoilers are coming, so if you haven't seen the first one, well, sorry, can't help you. Alright, so the first Transformer movie came out in 2007, I believe. I believe it's 2007, I don't remember, this is a long time. Anyway, it is directed by Michael Bay and stars Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. Now, at that time, Transformers, popular cartoon from the 80s, and a lot of people, especially me, I was excited for our very first Transformers live action movie. I mean, I was like, yeah, Optimus Prime, Megatron, Starscream, you name it, the Bumblebee, they were all going to be in this movie. I was so excited for it. And obviously you have Shia LaBeouf's character in this movie. He's Sam Witwicky, and he's pretty much a nerd, a loser, not popular kid in school. He's got goofy parents, and of course you have Megan Fox, who's the hot, most popular girl in school, and then of course Sam decides he wants to get a car, and his car ends up being an extraterrestrial, because if you don't know what the Transformers are, they're basically aliens from another planet called Cybertron. They come to Earth and then they take the form for disguised purposes of cars, because obviously in modern day it's cars. So Bumblebee becomes a Camaro, and you have Optimus Prime, who's the leader of the Autobots. He is like a semi truck, and then you have Megatron, who's basically a jet, and you have Starscream, who's also a jet, because they look at the military weapons and vehicles and they copy that, and that's how they become. So apparently Sam's car becomes a Transformer. He freaks out at first, and then then he finds out that he's destined to help them basically stop an alien invasion that's about to come, and it's basically Megatron wanted to take over the Earth. But Megatron at this point has been captured by the government, because the government hiding a secret from the military for years, not even years, decades basically. I mean, they had Megatron frozen since like maybe the 70s, or maybe earlier than that. And then of course the war breaks out, obviously, and like I said, I really enjoyed this movie a lot, because this movie was, and it still holds up today. I mean, the visuals in this movie was phenomenal. I mean, even if you look at the new Transformer movies, even today, Michael Bay knew how to make these Transformers look cool. And what he did right in the first one, I believe, was he gave the characters depth and made us care about them. Because if you look at the original cartoon Transformers, everybody knew who Optimus was. He was a leader. Sometimes he was a little rational for what he does, because there are moments he'll charge it himself and try to protect his fellow Autobots from being harmed, and he'll do his own thing and obviously get some battle damage, and he does the same thing here. And because like I said, in this world they don't know about Earth as much. They were blinded at first, because they, like I said, it was the first time being there for them, so they're getting used to it. But yeah, even Sam wasn't too sure. I don't know if I should be helping you. I'm not much of a hero. And then of course he becomes a hero. He hooks up with the girl, even though all guys all over the world at that point was in love with Megan Fox, me included. Yeah, because she was hot and she was Megan Fox. I mean, a lot of people didn't even know who Megan Fox was. This is like the movie where she really stood out as an actress. And back then she wasn't as good of an actress as when she first started. She wasn't like an Natalie Portman or Jessica Chastain. She wasn't like that type of level of an actress. She was just there for eye candy, pretty much. I'm sorry for saying that, if you take that offense, but that's what she was back in those days, because, let's face it, today's woman's completely different, obviously, now, but, back in those days, it was just basically, she was just there to look good. But she did fine, and I enjoyed what she was. She was funny. She was kind of a badass, because she has such a bad backstory, how she was always in trouble, how, she was that quirky girl that, yeah, she hanged out with the football crowd, but yeah, she knows about cars and, all that, the man stuff, she was basically a hot tomboy, if that makes it feel better, but yeah, that's what she was. And okay, so let's get to the Autobots. Autobots obviously were awesome. Megatron was great as a villain because he's Megatron. He's always been one of the big bad guys of the Autobots because him and his Decepticons. He's basically their general. You know, their Cobra Commander. You know, if you want to call it like, be like that. And like I said, I enjoyed this movie a lot. This movie still has great action, great music. Even the soldiers. You know, you have Tyrese Gibson in this movie. And he was awesome. He's funny as hell, too. And, you know, you have the other soldiers. They were all great. You had, I keep forgetting the actor's name, but he's Angelina Jolie's father. I keep forgetting his name. But he was like the senator or he was one of the politicians in the movie. You know, and he was great in the movie as well. And, yeah, he was cool. Like I said, great action. Dialogue was great at the time. Just seeing the Transformers live action for the first time, especially when they transformed, and you know that you hear that noise that they always make in the cartoon. That was cool. But yeah, the first Transformers movie rocks. I love it so much. Can always watch and go back to it. When I get to the other ones, I'll get to the other ones because you know there are some negatives in those. A lot more actually than this one. I think in this one, the only negative I had is that, like I said, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, sorry. Some of the Transformers that, you know, you grew up watching in the cartoon die in this, but you know what? What can you do? And, you know, and the only thing I don't like about the first one as much is too much product placement. I mean, they had moments from, like, from Xbox, or back that day was the 360. They had some other weird product placements. The cars were cool, the way that they look. I mean, obviously, back in those days, those were the cars that everybody wanted to have. That was great. So I'm going to give the first Transformer movie, I'm going to give it 100% out of 100 because, like I said, I think that first one is just perfect. Minus, you know, yeah, sure, it has like that one negative problem that I had with it, but it's such a small thing, you can flick it away because it's like not really, it's not even a movie, you know, part of the story. It's not even part of the story that's the problem. So that movie is pretty much awesome all the way through. So there you go. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the very first Transformers movie. And have you seen it? Let me know what you guys thought. Thank you and have a good night.